All right, we're going to talk about sum to product and then product to sum formulas. So again, we're just going to hit with these formulas and how you can kind of manipulate them and help them rewrite things as like sums to products and products to sums. So here's our formulas to rewrite something that's written as a product or multiplication and rewriting it as a sum. Okay, so there those are. You'll get some of these on like the formulas and summative and tests and quizzes and things. But there they are. Let's go ahead and take a look. So when we rewrite them as a sum, okay, if we go ahead and take a look at this first one, okay, we want to look at something that's going to look similar. So I'm going to notice that I see that this cosine times cosine is going to match that formula. So that's the formula, cosine x times cosine y equals 1/2 cosine x minus y, then plus cosine of x plus y. So now I'm going to kind of notice that, hey, here's my x, and here's my y. So we're going to plug those in for that x. And for the y. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. So I have 1/2 cosine of 52 minus 31 degrees plus cosine of 52 plus 31. Okay. Now, if I do notice I have a 2 out here, so I'm just going to put that 2 out here as well. So when I go to simplify this, 2 times 1/2 is just 1, so those simplify. So we're just left with cosine at 52 plus 31, which is 21 degrees, plus cosine of 83 degrees. Okay. So that 2 I just brought down since it was really 2 cosine, so I just brought that 2 there. Rewrote it, simplified, there's our answer. Okay. Let's look at this next one. We have cosine of 2x minus 1 times sine of 3x plus 1. I'm going to use that formula. I noticed that cosine times sine is going to be the formula 1/2. So I went and wrote the whole formula out there. So now we got to simplify this a little bit. So we're going to have 1/2, and this is going to be sine of 2x plus 3x is 5x, minus 1 plus 1 is going to just be 0, so it's just 5x, minus sine. Okay. Make sure we distribute this negative to both of these, so this is really negative 3x minus 1. So when we simplify, this is going to be negative x minus 2. Okay. And you're just rewriting it as a sum, so really subtraction is still a sum. So we can just leave it like that. If you wanted to distribute the half and do 1/2 sine of 5x minus 1/2 sine of negative x minus 2, I'd be okay with that. Either of these I'd be fine with. Okay. So now we could actually derive these formulas from that first slide, but kind of simplify it a little bit for you guys and give you the formulas for if it's just a sine plus a sine, or sine minus sine, or cosine plus cosine, or cosine minus cosine. But if you have those, you can rewrite them as a product using these formulas. So let's go ahead and take a look. So for this first one, I know it's cosine plus cosine, so I'm going to use that formula that's going to be 2 cosine of x plus y over 2, and then times cosine of x minus y over 2. Okay. Now when it says x and y, really that's just your first and your second term, so this blue one is going to be our x, and then our second one we'll make red, which would be 23, is going to go in our y spots. So when you go to rewrite this, we're going to have 2 cosine of 115 degrees plus 23 degrees divided by 2 times cosine of 115 minus 23 divided by 2. Okay. And we can go ahead and just simplify this. It's going to be 2 cosine of 69 degrees, and then we'll have cosine of, that ends up being 46 degrees. Okay, when I do 115 minus 23 divided by 2. Okay, so there's our answer. Scroll down to look at this next one. So I notice it's sine minus sine, so I look at my formula, and I notice that that's going to be 2 cosine of x plus y over 2 times sine of x minus y over 2. Okay. So we'll go ahead and fill in. Remember, x and y are just that first and last term, so we're going to do 2 cosine of 3x plus 5x over 2, and then sine of 3x minus 5x over 2. Okay, now we can clean this up a little bit. We have 2 cosine of, that would be 8x divided by 2 is 4x. And then this would be sine of negative 2x divided by 2 is just negative x. Okay, so we just rewrote it as multiplication or a product. That's all it asks for, so boom, we are done.